What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the video, and today we're going to be doing a deck profile on our Phantom Knights deck here in Master Duel. We're going to go ahead and go into our decks here. As you can see, I've been working on a myriad of decks. We got my Cosmo deck, Burn deck for the lulz, Megaliths, Danger Dark World, and Burning Abyss. Today we're doing Phantom Knights, so let's go ahead and click on that. We're going to go into Edit Deck. And here we are, folks. Now, keep in mind, this build would look slightly different if we had Destroyer, Phoenix, Enforcer in the game. I would have the full Scythe lock and all of that stuff. So this is slightly different, but we're going to do the card by card here. So to start, we got our two free special summons. We got Junk Ford and Speedroid Terror Top. Junk Ford's searchable, which is nice, but they're just really good to open if you got a free board or an open board. I mean, yeah, your opponent's gonna. This whole deck is susceptible to Max C, but the thing is, this deck can play through it, which is really, really cool in this format. But anyways, so we got Junk Ford, Speedway Terror Top. Those are your two special summons. I wish I could arrange the deck slightly differently, because having to go back and forth is kind of weird. But anyways, 2 Tour Guide of the Underworld. Not 3, not 1, 2. 3 is too many normal summons. 1 is not enough. 2 I've found is kind of like the perfect number. Some people play 3, don't get it. It's too many normal summons with your Torn Scales and your Cloak. So there's that, and I've seen people play 2 Graph, but it's not necessary unless you're playing like Desires or something like that. But anyways, we got 2 Tour Guides. We got your standard Burning Abyss package, Seer, Graft, special summon from the deck, special summon for the graveyard. It is what it is. You need it in every build, and if you're gonna play it like this, at least a lot of people, you can play without these, but I just like having these in here because it's free way to, if your opponent doesn't Ash Blossom you, you can make Bardiche pretty easily. So anyways, moving on, we got your Phantom Knights package, which is the 3 Torn Scales, 1, 2, 3. We got the 3 boots, 1, 2, I hate the way this is organized, 3, and then we got the 2 Cloak. So like I said before, this is your normal summon. Discard, dump a card from the deck, which is just so good. It's a walking Foolish Burial for the archetype. So there's that. There's your other normal summons. And then you have your 1 Nubs, which is your Ragged Gloves and your Stained Greaves. This is such a good combo. Oh, I forgot to say, Cloak. Once this is in the graveyard, it searches any card, which is really good, which goes into this combo. So the idea is to dump Torn Scales into the graveyard, dump Cloak into the graveyard, banish Cloak, special summon Torn Scales, add Stained Greaves, special summon Stained Greaves off of Torn Scales, and then just, that's a free break sword. So there you go. And you got your other extenders. This format's kind of weird with the dangers. You get 3 Tsuchinokos and 2 Jackalopes in the whole format. But for this deck, we're just running 1 Jackalope and 2 Tsuchinokos, because you don't really want to have too many of the... You don't need to max out on this. You definitely don't need to max out on this. It's a great extender, but it's cool to just have 2 in this format. Your Psychic Wielder, your Psychic Tracker. If we had 3 emergency teleports, I would also run Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit in here, because it's such a good target and it's a free pop. Then you got your 3 hand traps. We run 3 Ash Blossom. It's a level 3, so you can normal summon it and still combo, which is really good. I don't notice, you don't see Max C anywhere in my build. Like I said, this deck can play through it, and you don't need it. I've tried Max C in here and didn't like it. You can use it if you want. It's cool. It's a great card. Whatever. I don't have Nibiru either, just because I don't have the ultra rare uh, crafting points for it, as you can see. So there's that. Let's get into the spells. We got this would. I don't know if I would keep this as a Regeki or if I would keep this as another Lightning Storm. I had a really recent game where I drew both of these and it kind of saved me, to be honest. So I think I would keep, if we're going to keep one of these in here, or both of these in here, do one Lightning Storm, one Regeki. Or you could do Monster Reborn is in here too, just because again I don't have the. Ideally, these would probably I would get rid of all of these and then run 3 Nibiru or something like that. But like I said, Ultra these are free. I got these off of the game itself. Same with Rhoda, Reinforcements to the Army. This can add anything pretty much in the deck to your hand. That's a Phantom Knights card. They're all warriors, including Junk Ford. These are all warriors. These are not. The extenders are not warriors, unfortunately. But these two actually go together with the psychic cards because these emergency teleports bring these out of the deck. It is Ash Blossom bait as well, so that's kind of a nice thing. You can, if you've already got the combo in your hand, you can just throw out an E-Tailing and get them to Ash Blossom it. And it's just like, cool. Moving on. Next up, we got, this would ideally be 3 Forbidden Droplets, but again, the ultra rare crafting is a little expensive. So, like, notice how many ultra rares you kind of need in this deck, especially in the extra deck. But we'll get to that. 2 Called by the Grave. I mean, it's Called by the Grave. You needed it too. I'm considering doing a weird cross-out designator style thing. Like, I'm considering testing it, but for right now, this is kind of like where I like this. Like I said, this should be Forbidden Droplets because you get the send to the graveyard, and then you can still combo off, so your hand's not clogged up. But this is a really, really good substitute. Really good. This card saves my life all the time. Traps, you got the 3 Fogblade, pretty standard. I tried 2. It's really good in TCG format because you generally turns only go like 2, maybe 3 turns at the very most. So you don't need the grind because you're gonna pretty much OTK your opponent for the most part. But this, you I've been noticing gets a little more grindy. So I put 3 of these back in here, and it's only so that you still have that search off of Bardiche, because you can't use Bardiche's effect unless you have the spell trap to set from the deck. If you already dumped one of these for your combo, and then you set this or set this, then the next turn you literally only have 1 follow-up. So you need 2 follow-ups just in case. The 1 Shade Brigadine, which is awesome. This helps you make Rongo. Wing, super good. This is mainly just a chain to whatever they do at the beginning of their turn, so you can get into the graveyard so that you can bring back Break Sword to pop something with the arrow from Bardiche. So that's the main deck. It's pretty good. I think it's very solid. It's not full power, and it's also straight up just not the strongest deck in this format, but it's, it's a solid deck. Moving on to the extra deck, we got the F-Zero or the Utopic Draco Future package right here. Let's see, one sec. Yeah, so we got this. This would not be this. This would be Time Thief Redoer, but again, I don't have the ultra rare slots. 2 Break Sword. This is, again, just for the grind. I normally run 1 of these in my regular TCG deck, but this is for the grind. Sea Dragon, it's Sea Dragon. It brings back Cloak, so you can boost Bardiche up to 2,900. And then you can overlay these 2 for Draco Future. Then you got Rongo, which this is the best card in this deck, hands down, because this card is legal, that this deck cannot be afraid of Maxi, because basically this deck can make a 4 material Ramanya, whatever you say, Rongo. At 4 materials, your opponent cannot special summon or normal summon monsters, so it can't be Kaiju'd. They just have to set, And it's unaffected by card effects, so they can drop a Lightning Storm, they can drop a Geki, they can drop whatever they want, but he's not going to go anywhere. They can't kaiju it. You know, it's unless maybe they have super poly. I don't think even super poly works on it. But anyways, so you know, if they drop Max C, just go into Rongo and you're good to go. Raiders Knight and Arc Rebellion XE for the OTK, then follow up. This is so good. I love doing this, getting up to like 10,000 attack and just boom, running over your opponent's monster. Link Spider for the potential Nibiru play. It doesn't come up very often. I've only needed it like twice ever. But it's there in case you need it, so it's whatever. It's a slot. I wish the extra deck was bigger, but whatever. Moving on, we got your main starter, Cherubini, dumps a card, special summons from the deck with Graph and Seer. So good. Then that goes into Bardiche, which is your main card, your playmaker. This is your guy. This is, you want to keep him on the field at all times, or at least you want him on the field when your turn starts. This would also be Zeus if I could make it the Zeus. Nightmare Phoenix would, this would be Zeus, and this would be Time Thief Redoer, but again, ultra rares. So whatever, this works just fine. Works as extra back row removal. Just so I also don't have to main deck another back row removal card like Harpy's Feather Duster. I can just use Lightning Storm as my one of, and then have this to make it whenever I want. Plus it's a 1900 attack, whatever. You can bring back Cherubini with Seer, and then use an extra material to make this and end on the 1900 attack monster, which you can later, if it gets destroyed, go into your access code talker and have an extra pop. So this deck could potentially have 1 from the earth, 2 from the dark, 3 from the fire, 3 pops, and 1 access code talker summon. So yeah. Anyways, that's the deck profile. Let me know if in the comments if you want to see some combo work. I could do some combo stuff with a friend, show you some combos that can be done, and because this deck, it doesn't really brick. There's always a way to play through. I've almost never had to just set and pass. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Hope you have fun with this deck, and I'll be posting more gameplay as time goes on. We're looking forward to some new sets coming out in Master Duel. They're going to add Dawn of Majesty here really soon. There was some leaks that came out, so that'll be cool. Stay tuned for that, and take it easy.